So in the first day of the 15th International Energy Forum held here in Algiers, I can tell you it's been a pretty eventful day. I'm not sure about any concrete decisions, but there has been consensus and there has been lots of indications that the Algiers meeting will be very different from its last one, the OPEC's last meeting in Doha back in April. Experts are saying that tomorrow's informal OPEC meeting could very much lead to the shaping up of a roadmap that would be eventually drafted into a possible agreement on a production freeze in Vienna next November in OPEC's extraordinary meeting. Algerian Prime Minister Abdelmalek Salal did say this morning in his opening address that finding a solution to balance the market has proved pivotal at this point in time, because the situation is definitely not easy for oil exporting countries and oil dependent economies. However, also there is consensus that if anything will come out of tomorrow's meeting, it will probably be a production freeze as opposed to a production cut or a decrease. And this has been confirmed by oil ministers of UAE, of Venezuela, of Iraq. The Saudi oil minister also talked to the press on the sidelines of the conference this morning, saying that tomorrow's meeting will merely be consultative. Yes, Algerian Energy Minister Noureddin Boutarfa did say that any statements, any decisions, or any declarations that may have been made today by the different oil ministers are not conclusive and do not reflect in any way tomorrow's outcome. So this indicates that any scenario is possible tomorrow, Osama, in the informal OPEC meeting, and we can expect anything to happen tomorrow. Oil Minister Noureddin Boutarfa also said or addressed reports about the Russian oil minister leaving tonight and therefore being absent from tomorrow's informal meeting. Noureddin Boutarfa said that it's pretty normal considering that Russia is not an OPEC member, so its presence is not really required in tomorrow's informal meeting. And our sources did confirm that Russian oil minister will be leaving Algiers tonight and will be absent from tomorrow's meeting. Yes, we already said that cutting production is not an option at this point in time, but yes, Algiers did play a very important role in mediating between Iran and Saudi Arabia and bringing them together around a negotiation table, which is not an easy thing to do. So Algiers is facing a lot of pressure, I think, to say the least, to bring these two important OPEC members to agree on some common grounds. We know that Saudi Arabia says that it will not decrease production unless Iran freezes its production at January levels. There has been an unofficial meeting between Saudi Arabia and Iran earlier this afternoon. There were reports saying that the meeting ended with no concrete results, but we don't know that yet. I think tomorrow will be very important in shaping up the results of this meeting. There are also some unofficial reports of a possible meeting tonight or this evening between Russia, Saudi Arabia and Iran, but as I said, Osama, we don't have a confirmation about that yet. What we do know is that Algiers is playing an important role in mediating between these two countries. We're here at the International Conference Hall in Algiers, and as you can see behind me, there's a long corridor that leads to the meeting room where the OPEC informal meeting is being held right now as we speak with the presence of the OPEC member countries' oil minister. The meeting was initially supposed to only last for a half hour, but now we're going through the third hour, which only reflects the difficulty of the negotiations and the seriousness of the meeting, mainly between two major OPEC players, which are Saudi Arabia and Iran. Now, there are other reports coming in from the meeting room saying that the Saudis are showing some flexibility in their stance, but of course there's no telling what is happening right now inside that meeting room. We only can hear some leaks here and there, but there is no telling of what's going on. I just heard, Mustafa, that there is a possible Algerian proposition drafted into an official document to cut production by 800 100,000. If this is true, Mustafa, this is a huge proposal and a huge deal. But of course, as I said, there is no way of telling. We're going to have to wait until the end of the meeting to have more details. Algeria also reportedly said that if any deal is reached today, Mustafa, Nigeria, Iraq, and Libya would have to be exempt from any decision to freeze production or even cut production. Delegate minister in charge of the African Union and the Maghreb affairs, Abdelkader Messahel, met with the Libyan delegation on the sidelines of the OPEC meeting. The Libyan delegation was chaired by the Presidential Council Vice President, and the both representatives of both governments in Libya were also present in the meeting. Of course, this is a politically oriented meeting, and at the end of it, Abdelkader Messahel briefly talked to the press, saying that Algeria reiterates its long-standing stance that it supports peaceful, non-violent solutions to any conflict in the world. And of course, Libya is no exception to that. Mr. Messahel also confirmed that Algeria will indeed be present in the Libyan neighboring countries meeting that's going to be held this October, Mustafa, in Niamey, Nigeria. He also said and reiterated the fact that Algeria supports Libya in its quest to restore stability and security in the country that has been ravaged by a civil war ever since the so-called Arab Spring erupted there. So basically, Mustafa, that's all I have for now. Reports are still coming in each minute from that meeting room where the OPEC members are informally meeting. Of course, we will keep you updated if anything comes up.